Now on CoastTV News.
A Rehoboth Beach high-speed chase ending in a crash. What officers say happened. A Salisbury corporal found dead. What police know about the death of Ryan Mitchell.
And the first full weekend of summer on Delmarva going as planned. Highs reaching 90s, but it gets even worse from here on out. I'm tracking oppressive, potentially record-breaking heat and humidity pushing into Delmarva. The latest timing coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson. Thanks for joining us. On your screen now is where Rehoboth Beach Police say an 18-year-old led officers on a high-speed chase before crashing into two cars on Coastal Highway and Shuttle Road. Rehoboth officers say Isaiah Stokes ran from police on June 18th. When the chase ended in Stokes crashing, the only injuries reported were to Stokes himself. He was then taken to an area hospital where Stokes was treated and released. He now faces several charges, including one felony and multiple misdemeanors. A long-time member of the Salisbury Police Department has died unexpectedly, according to Salisbury Police. Senior Corporal Ryan Mitchell was found dead in his home yesterday, Friday, June 20th. Mitchell served the department for 30 years, working in patrol, tactical operation, investigations, and most recently as a patrol supervisor. Funeral arrangements are being finalized. The city is asking the community to keep his family and fellow officers in their thoughts. A Milton man is facing charges after police say he threatened a lawn care workers earlier this week. Delaware State Police arrested Chad Latecki on Monday. Troopers say Telecki yelled at an employee at Lawns Unlimited from his neighboring home in Milton. While yelling at the employee, troopers say Telecki showed a gun in his waistband. Troopers arrested him without incident and found the loaded gun on him. Telecki is prohibited from owning a firearm. He now faces felony charges. This is no surprise to our viewers. The heat has been a problem all week long, although that did not stop people from spending time outdoors and keeping businesses busy. Coast TV went to Rehoboth this week and spoke with tons of people throughout the day, some locals, others who were just visiting, and all of them told us they were doing the same thing and trying to stay cool. This is something that's also been keeping businesses busy. One of them is Archie's on Rehoboth Avenue. They say this is the time of the year when they get the most customers, but on days like this, it gets much more busier.
In the morning, it's always busy about lemonade because it's very hot. It's hard to refresh. Lemonade helps to refresh. And then after afternoon, it's like a good for ice cream because it's when they finish dinner.
If you're planning on spending time outside this weekend, be sure to find ways to stay safe and cool. And on that note, we're going to take a live look outside into Milford and bring in our first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobono. And Chris, we were talking before the show. It's actually cooler on the coast, but it's more muggier as well compared to some inland areas.
Yeah, that's the place to be. In fact, the coast, whether if you're in the ocean or a pool, here's a live look into Lewis. That's actually one of our warmer beach locations. We're at 91 right now, the dew point 73, so we're beginning to see the humidity levels rise on Delmarva, but you can see 77 in Rehoboth, 78 in Bethany as the wind comes off the ocean, but for pretty much inland, we're in the upper 80s to right around that 90-degree mark, and you can see the dew points, the humidity has been rather tolerable today, but they are beginning to rise. We see a few cumulus clouds pushing over the area, pretty quiet across the area, complex of storms well to the north. That should stay to our north overnight into early Sunday morning. So as far as your evening planner is concerned, a mild and muggy evening under partly cloudy skies. It will be a gorgeous evening. We do have heat advisories that go into effect Monday morning through Tuesday. That is when we expect the core of what will be potentially a record-breaking heat wave. We can make a run at records both Monday and Tuesday. We have red alerts in play and then oppressive humidity. We're going to see those heat indices anywhere between 105 to 110. So you're going to want to limit your time outside, especially during the hottest part of the day, and stay hydrated. We'll talk more about this potential record-breaking heat wave in that full 7-day forecast. Brandon?
Thank you, Chris. And here are some ways to keep yourself safe during that extreme heat. If you need to be outside, take it slow and always stay hydrated. Be sure to check on elderly neighbors and anyone vulnerable to the heat. Also, avoid walking dogs. During peak heat, asphalt can reach over 120 degrees and burn their paws. Stay safe and stay cool outside. And as those temperatures climb, many homeowners are searching for ways to beat the heat without breaking the bank. Experts say small steps like filter changes and outdoor unit cleanings make a big difference, and timing matters. Putting off maintenance can turn into costly repairs.
Change your filter out, wash your condenser. After you mow the grass, make sure you clean that condenser off, wash all those grass clippings that may get on the condenser outside.
Summer's here, and so is the traffic, with cars heading up and down Route 1 to get to the popular beaches here on Delmarva, with DelDOT's new project that broke ground yesterday. 8 of the crossovers that they call dangerous will be gone. DelDOT says this will basically create a service road network, and this video from DelDOT shows what the area of Minos-Conway Road and Nassau Road and also Old Mill Road will look like. And watch this, a new service road pops up west of Route 1 with a roundabout to get onto Minos-Conway without even touching the highway. And for those that prefer to walk or bike, the project's estimated completion is in summer of 2028. A Delaware bill wants to establish statewide rules for pot retailers and eases zoning restrictions. In Sussex County, marijuana advocates say those zoning laws have made it nearly impossible to actually open a store. Democratic Senator Trey Parady says Sussex County has essentially made it illegal to open a shop, so the state needs to intervene. But some Republicans, representatives like Brian Shoup, say this is majority party overreach.
The one-party rule, no matter what party it is, I think you get away from listening to local voices just by the nature of that happening.
You know, once the recreational cannabis stores are open, you're going to have less than 40 across the entire state. So it's just a little unreasonable what Sussex County has done, and again, they've made it illegal.
The bill now heads to the Delaware House of Representatives for a vote.
Well, if you're making your way out this Saturday evening on Delmarva, 82 degrees, a mild and muggy evening as that sun sets at 8:29. Pretty good there. We have some big-time heat heading our way. I'll break it all down in my full forecast here in minutes.
Day 9 of strikes between Israel and Iran. Multiple locations in Israel hit. We have that story and new weapon sanctions from President Trump against Iran next.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Iran sent a missile barrage into Israel early this morning as the air attacks continue between the two countries, and it's entering its 9th day. The Israel Defense Forces said sirens were sounded in various areas of Israel as operations to intercept the strikes from Iran were underway. The missiles launched against Israel were also seen from several parts of the West Bank. It comes after a summit yesterday with Iran's foreign minister and European leaders yielded no signs of a breakthrough into de-escalation. The Trump administration is implementing sanctions hoping to weaken Iran's weapons programs as the country conflict with Israel rages on. Those sanctions Friday included several foreign companies, a Chinese individual, and a cargo ship. The Treasury Department said those businesses and individual gave Iran sensitive machinery and research that serve as the foundation of the regime's military programs. 2 U.S. airlines are suspending flights to the Middle East, at least for now, amid ongoing conflict in the region. United Airlines and American Airlines confirmed they've halted some passenger flights for United. Daily flights between Newark International Airport and Dubai are now paused. Both airlines said they're monitoring the situation and will make further changes as needed.
Well, we should be around 85 degrees for this time of year. We're going to be well above that over the next 5 as we come to near close to record highs both Monday and Tuesday. We'll dive more in detail and show you how high it's going to actually feel coming up on Coast TV News when Coast TV News at 6 continues. Well, summer officially came in yesterday, and we are not wasting any time. When you see this forecast, we're going to be near record high temperatures here as we go into Monday and Tuesday. It's a hot day, 88 right now currently in Salisbury, dew point 64, so humidity still at a tolerable level, but note the southwest wind, that humidity is going to be really rolling in here through the overnight. You can see pretty cooler at the beach with a little bit of a sea breeze kicking in, 77 in Rehoboth, 83 in Bethany, but further away we are well in the mid to upper 80s to near 90 in Bridgeville. 89 in Milford. You can see dew points right now generally in the mid to upper 60s for the inland areas, but a bit muggier at the coast where you're seeing those dew points points in the 70s, and the humidity is really going to begin to skyrocket as we go into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We're going to be in that very humid and miserable range as we go through midweek. The good news is the ocean has warmed up, so we have some relief there. We're looking at temperatures in the lower to mid 70s as far as the water temperatures are concerned. Now, we do have heat advisories up for Kent and Sussex County. That goes into effect Monday morning through Tuesday. That's kind of when we expect the cooler of the heat to take place. We also have air quality alerts for Sunday. That's for those with sensitive conditions, so keep that in mind. Maybe limit your time outdoors. A few cumulus clouds across the area. A series of high pressures are going to really begin to lock in, and we're going to see a dome of heat take place. This complex of storms, keeping a close eye on that, that's going to dive southward overnight. I think most of that stays to the north. Clear overnight to partly cloudy. Overnight lows in the lower 70s. Sweltering heat for our Sunday. Heat indices near 100. Get to the beach. Hazy, hot, and humid Monday and Tuesday near record highs, coming very close to the century mark as far as air temperatures are concerned. There's that big dome of high pressure setting up shop over the Carolinas, just keeping us locked into this pattern here for the next 5 days at the least. 96 tomorrow, mostly sunny. We're at 88 at the coast, 94 along the eastern shore. Plenty of clear skies for tomorrow with those temperatures soaring into the mid 90s. And then by Monday, the heat really gets cranking, upper 90s to near 100 inland. The relief at the coast where we're going to be in the 80s. The other story is going to be the heat indices. Feeling like 96 tomorrow. Not too bad tomorrow when it comes to this. By Monday, we're feeling like 105 to 108. Then Tuesday, feeling anywhere between 107 to near 110. And I think we still keep into those lower hundreds as we go into Wednesday as far as the heat index is concerned, and maybe even Thursday. I think by Thursday, we'll begin to see the heat wave break. Lower 90s through Chincoteague into Monday and Tuesday. Assateague, we're there. A bit cooler into Ocean City, mid to upper 80s. Our warmer beaches are going to be Rehoboth and Lewis as we approach the mid to upper 90s Monday through Tuesday. So we have red alerts in play Monday through Tuesday. I think the heat wave breaks by Thursday, and then we see a chance of showers and storms into Friday and Saturday with highs in the mid to upper 80s. We'll be back with more news next.
Yesterday, Delaware Governor Matt Myers signed his 11th executive order of his term. The 11th order protects the personal data of gender-affirming care providers and patients under state law. Healthcare professionals are also protected against disciplinary violations for providing this care to trans people. CoastTV spoke with one person who's been waiting a long time for an order like this to be passed.
I have been in this battle for almost 20 years now. Trinity was very young when she socially transitioned. She was 4, and there was literally nothing.
On the other side, Delaware Republican Senator Bryant Richardson is criticizing the governor's move, saying he was hopeful Delaware lawmakers would follow suit with the U.S. Supreme Court, which recently upheld a ban on gender-affirming care for trans youth in Tennessee. In Rhode Island, lawmakers voted on Friday to approve a bill to ban assault-style weapons. The legislation aims to prohibit the manufacture, transfer, and sale of military-style weapons, which includes AR-style and AK-style guns, but it still allows people to keep weapons they already own, with the Senate voting 25-11 in support and the House passing it in a vote of 43-28. The bill's next stop will be Governor Dan McKee, who took to X congratulating lawmakers, saying, quote, "I'm proud that Rhode Island took an important step forward in protecting our communities from gun violence," end quote. A new COVID variant hits the United States. What health experts say to look out for. A new coronavirus variant is spreading in many parts of the world, and it has arrived here in the United States. The variant NB181, also called Nimbus, is a descendant of the Omicron strain. It's been identified as the cause of COVID-19 resurgence in China and several other Asian countries. Experts in Europe are predicting a possible increase in cases there, and it's possible a summer wave could also happen here in the U.S. The CDC says Nimbus represented about 1/3 of new COVID-19 cases as of June 7th. Staying in health news, more seniors are dying from accidental falls. The CDC says they see rates of unintentional fall deaths increase between 2003 and 2023 for men and women ages 65 and up. The rates increased with increasing age for both sexes, but the rate was higher for men, and by race, white people had the highest rate of unintentional fall deaths. After the break here on Coast TV News at 6, as we take a look into Salisbury, meteorologist Chris Mastrobruno has your forecast. A famous Delaware brewery is celebrating an anniversary this weekend. Dogfish Head is turning 30 this summer. To mark its birthday, the brewing company will hold celebrations at its locations in Milton and Rehoboth. There will be live performances today in Rehoboth and tonight in Milton and tomorrow.
And we are kicking off this first summer weekend here on Delmarva in style. 90 degrees right now in Milford. Temperatures falling to around 81 by around 9 under partly cloudy skies. You get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert weather phone. Now your 10-day forecast shows 95 on Sunday, near record highs Monday. The record is 100 back in 1988. We're going to come really close to that. We have the red alert in place. Tuesday, the record's 97. So I think we break the record on Tuesday. The last time we had 100 on Delmarva was back in 2019 of July. So keep that in mind. Very hot. Going to feel like more like 110 on Tuesday, and we looks like we'll break the heat wave, I think, in the Thursday, and then we see a few isolated storm chances Friday into the next weekend. Brandon?
Thank you for that, Chris. I'll keep the sunscreen handy. Thanks for joining us for Coast TV News at 6. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Be sure to join us tonight at 11. Until then, have a great night.